Soon I discovered that this rock thing was true. Jerry Lee Lewis was the devil. Jesus was an architect, previous to his career as a prophet. And all of a sudden, I found myself in love with the world. So there was one thing I could do. It was ding-a-ding-dang my dang-a-long-ling-long. Or play Gran Turismo. I think I'll play Gran Turismo instead. Or play Gran Turismo. I think I'll play Gran Turismo instead. The microphone, I said it twice. I don't know if it came out twice or one time. I don't know.
I know I gotta keep you by my side till the day I die. 'Cause baby, ecstasy is in my hand. Oh, when I'm holding yours in mine and walking in the sand. Oh, baby, you know it's fine. Oh, now you done and piss me off. You ain't done something you shouldn't have done. Baby, I'm mad. I'm going on. Oh, I'm going on.
Alright, welcome back to the Lost Begotten channel. You're here on YouTube, also known as Fake TV. And of course, I am your host. Fake TV is the actual Lost Begotten. Although, I was thinking maybe I should change it to the Obscure Begotten, or the Unnoticed Begotten, or the Begotten nobody really gives a shit about. The Hidden Begotten. The Suppressed Begotten. The Begotten who's always right but nobody listens. I can't say nobody. Let's face it. I get my way in mysterious ways. Anyways, I got the race ready to start over. We're going to be riding the horse known as Faithful and True. I mean, driving an Acura Integra. At Tsukuba. Tsukuba. I just like saying that. Tsukuba. We're going to be racing at Tsukuba Circuit. And I should have went with more replay and less first-person view on the intro video. I didn't realize how long it was, and that it was going to be this much longer than the song. So I'll just wait until I pass that last car, and then we'll move on with it. The sound you're hearing right now, of course, doesn't go with the stuff on screen. I still didn't catch him yet. Getting close. I'm going to pass him on the outside of the high-speed turn. And a front-wheel drive car. No, not there, because straight line speed. Yeah. Didn't hit him. It looked like I hit him, but I didn't hit him. If I hit him, I wouldn't be able to do that. Oh, yeah? Okay. Ooh, yeah, it is a little loud. Sorry about that. It's really hard for me to tell because it's like this microphone kind of works weird. It just decides what volume it wants to pick up what at. I don't entirely get it. Anyways. So that's enough of that. Let's get on with it, shall we? Oh, yes. And there I am in front of my green blanket of science green screen. This is the oldest, shittiest blanket you've ever seen. It's just, it's good that my webcam isn't very high quality. That's all I'm saying. It's like, it's a dark green blanket. But look how well this is working. See, without the black shirt, it's like there's nothing behind me. Nothing but racetrack. I actually, I tested it out on a real background image. Wasn't really that impressive. But I can do that, and I can be behind it, or I can be in front of it. That's pretty much my two options. Anyway, so welcome to the crappy graphics studio of science. And yes, the channel of science that likes to say of science for no reason, just to mock how fucking silly science is. Science. Because, well, here we recognize simple facts like opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. Okay. And then we move on from there. we're happy with accepting the difference between theory and fact. Like theory. Is gravity a component of mass or magnetism? Oh, just one of the little tiny things we rattle around here. And I'm thinking of actually doing. What do you think, Mr. Conway? Howdy, by the way. I have one person in the chat. Feel free to say hello or sign in and just tell us who you are, where you're from. We'd like to hear from you in the chats. What do you think if I debunk the acceleration theory because of magnetism? Like, it's magnetism that makes all this shit work. And it's also magnetism that transfers to both models, heliocentric and flat. I'm very fascinated with the perceptual perceptual parity between models. It's as if it is a divine creation that you get to actually see the same evidence from either side and choose from for yourself. You get to choose to live in a spiritual reality or a physical reality. It's fascinating. But it seems like only on this channel is it discussed how that difference plays out and how the ether actually manifests in a form that still allows for space travel in a certain way. And in fact, do you remember the navigators from the book Dune, or the series or movie Dune? However you consumed Dune, as long as it wasn't the Jean-Luc Picard version. The movie, the 80s movie. That was horrible. The Dune, the Sci-Fi Channel. If you got 4 or 8 hours to watch it, depending on the box set that you buy, that was great because it's just like almost the whole book played out. Well, many astrophysicists have theorized, and this is something that's played out in the book Dune, that in order to travel great distances in space, one must fold space and time to a certain extent. And, of course, the alien on First Contact kind of rolled his eyes at that. What are they called? What's the Tolans on Stargate SG-1 and fold space and time? No, that's not how you do it. You enter Arcadia. Because, then it's not billions and billions of miles away, then it's just second star to the right and straight on till morning. If that navigator and all his trippy out fucking hallucinogenic life, because the navigators are like in a pod where they basically consume drugs their whole fucking life, and they're over generations mutated by the drugs. Oh, damn it. Why is the volume still bad? Should be barely audible over there. It's closer to myself. How about that? Is that better? So anyways, the navigators, I don't know how we got on this, but I'm thinking about making that's why I'm thinking about making a whole video about this. The navigators on Dune were consuming the spice, like gassed into their chambers, and they're in this semi-lucid state their whole lives. And over the generations, their bodies were made to deform by, just not only inbreeding, but spending their whole lives in these chambers. Picture the navigators on Dune as flat earthers. And everywhere they go to is flat. And the next star they travel to is an orb floating above it. And then they get there, and that place is also flat. That's how you fold space. Now, What I think is interesting about Dune is how everybody has to be kind of like locked away and can't see what's going on the outside. And that makes me kind of relate it to a perceptoral-based manifesto reality kind of thing. Anyway. Something fun to think about, I think. But that's not what this video is supposed to be about. This video is supposed to be about being racist or something right now. Yes, once again we ask, if there's all this racism in the world, where the hell is the finish line? Oh shit, is that why the Russians want to invade it so bad? The Russians spread racism all over the world so that they can get to the finish line. Get it? Ask a Finn, they'll tell you. Finland, Finland, Finland. It's quite where I want to be. Finland, Finland, Finland. It's the country for me. You're so near to Russia, so far from Japan, such a long way to China, lots of miles from Vietnam. Okay, so I'm give myself just a little more gear here. We're gonna go 5.777. It never hurts to be superstitious with race car specs. Well, you know, within reason. I'm going to put a 4-spring on the front and a 2-spring on the back and go, yeehaw! How about them brakes? Okay. Yeah, that's a joke that only mechanics who are fans of Robin Williams would get. Now, my suspension. We got 8 in the front and 7 in the back, and that's just fine. I got a little more tire wear than necessary, though, I think. We're going to tone this down just a little bit. Oh, yes, yes. Gotta love the Finnish driving school. They start them early, just doing flicks around fucking snow turns. See, that's what, the other day when I was doing the snow test, I'm like, if only I was like, you know, from Finland, I could just breeze through this shit when I was 12. You know? All right. So for this car, if you're really building it for the track, you'd probably go 8 and 8, or maybe even 8 and 10. Okay? Unless you're me and you got a bad back. Alright? I would beef up the rear sway bar. Keep a lower spring rate back there. And alter my driving style just a little bit. But really wouldn't have to much. See, that the idea of heavy spring in the back is to get loaded up on your negative toe. If you got a little Mini Cooper or Civic or something and you got your toe, instead of, for factory, the factory is going to point it like a dart so that it'll be stable on highway speeds, especially in the rain. When you build a race car, you're trying to washer those control arms or whatever you got back there, swing arms like on an Integra, and get the angle of the rear wheels to actually go out a little tiny bit so that when you load up on them, it's kind of like rear wheel steering. Now, what you might not know about Hondas is that every Accord, Pilot, and CR-V comes with a multi-link suspension that actually tows out the rear wheel as you load onto that corner. So if you're making, you know, the usual right turn around town, you know, you're leaning the car back, you're leaning the car to the left. That suspension actually tows that rear left wheel out a little bit and helps you around the corner. And you can take like a CRV and cut the wheel and do very, very close quarters, like almost donuts. Well, if it's all-wheel drive, of course you're going to be able to do donuts, but they're fun. They're surprisingly fun. A Honda Pilot or a CRV has the same suspension that an Acura has, and it's got quite the advantage for being a heavier front-wheel drive car. Quite the advantage. Yeah, his Accord was very good to take speeds, to take bends at speed. He found out by accident. Volume's still bad. They learned some crazy shit in driving tests in Finland. Now, the Integras and Civic actually don't have the multi-link, but they make up for it by, first of all, not having much weight back there, so it becomes less necessary, but also by having really easily tunable rear suspensions. Like I said, you washer out the fucking swing arm. I call it a swing arm because it's very four-wheeler and motorcycle-like, and I was a motorcycle part. The rear swing arms, you know? What are they called? Trailing arms? Trailing arms, yes. The rear trailing arms, you basically come to the inside of them and force them out. Okay? And then the whole C-knuckle assembly actually moves like that. And all you're looking for is from point 2 to negative point 2. Or if you can get it all the way out to negative 42, like, you know, Peter Cunningham. Oh, shh, don't ask, don't tell. I just gave away a trade secret. But, you know, he didn't tell me that. I just know. Because I tune cars like that to do their lap time. And I know how the kind of guy he is. And I'd bet somebody $20 that his old Integra had negative 0.42 on the toe. Because it's doable, and it just feels right, doesn't it? Doesn't it just seem right? Instinct. Ooh, wait. Speaking of instinct. Oh. I've already changed that. One of the things that makes an Integra good around a track is it doesn't have a 50-50 brake controller. It doesn't have like 60-40. It has 40-40, which means it's hard to get, like, most people think like a Lexus or a BMW, like when you just touch the brakes and it's like, oh, that's not how Integras are. You have a lot of play and a lot of feel for the brakes. They still work just as good, but they're a whole lot harder to lock up. And I think that's because of the balance controllers in them. Anyway. And even the newer cars, really, like I've driven Infinitis, Nissans, Toyotas, Fords. The only Chevy I've driven was a Corvette, I think. Well, except for old pickup trucks. Have I ever driven like a normal Chevy? Well, other than parking somebody's car. I have not driven a Chevy lately. I have driven a Ford lately. Okay, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and drive this car now. So, we're going... Anyway, let me finish the tour of the car. 30 kilogram roll cage, 50% back, bringing the distribution a little bit better. We got full-blown all-motor tuning, no power limiter, but no turbo. No turbo. We are at the top. There. Okay. And the difference is, I think, 378 horsepower versus 327 horsepower. And, of course, a whole lot less torque. But if you ask me, for endurance, front-wheel drive, the last fucking thing you want is a turbo. Like, that to me is just stupidity. And I'm still waiting a few years for the verdict on the new turbo Hondas, personally. Of course, it'll be, 10 more years, and then I'll probably buy myself a 2013 Accord Sport. Maybe. Might go shopping for an earlier model. No, I'll probably get the 2013, 2014 Accord Sport. I really like that car. But I might get the 2014 Civic Si with the manual. The last K24 manual, awesome all-motor car you can get in America. Alright, so we got soft tires. I guess I'm just going to keep those for now. No helps, no skid recovery, force, or all that bullshit. The only thing I've purposely used skid recovery force on here was that stupid Lotus Elise Top Gear Test Track Challenge. Because you cannot keep that fucking car going straight. It just spins this way and then spins that way. And then, oh, I tapped the brakes. Oh, I tapped the gas. Oh my god, it spun. So, just wanted to bitch about that for a second. Move on. Okay. So this is going to be some long shit. I'm not going to string the whole thing. No, sir. We're just going to do periodic updates. I'm not going to drive this all in one stint. No, sir. Well, we're going to be using a highly underpowered car, but it's lighter. It's much lighter by 150 to 300 kilograms compared to the other cars. They're about 1150 to 1380, I think, is the kilograms on the not that one, the orange one. The GTRs are like 1320. There's a fucking G37. Oh, that's probably probably at least 1600 kilograms. Is it a street fucking, seriously? That's got to be a racing one. Now I'm looking for the blue car. I guess we'll find it on the track, huh? Just trying to finish my cigarette here. Camera a little bit squared away while I'm at it. You gotta have your K&N sticker on your racing wheel so that it has more horsepower. Plus 5 horsepower right there. Plus 5 horsepower. Set it on the box on the internet. For some reason it didn't say it on the box when I got it home. Oh yes, I almost forgot. Coffee. Oh, there's the G37. Oh, that's a tuner car. That's a tuner car, G37. I don't know who built it, but it's a tuner car. Alright. And we're off. Like a herd of turtles. Oh, I should probably put my hands on the steering wheel. Okay. That's one thing about negative toe. In the back. When you toe out in the back, you will have to work to correct it if you go off track. Or if you start to spin a little. Yeah, makes it more oversteer prone. That's the idea. That's how it goes fast. And that's why they do the other way on street cars. Third gear is unnecessary. It's already a question of how long these tires are going to last me at this pace. For those of you who are racing drivers or enthusiasts, you ever wondered why race car drivers take the extreme lines and use all the track? It's not just for speed, it's also to conserve the tires. The less you turn the wheel, and the more gentle of a line you take, the less your tires have to over-scrub. Shouldn't take much longer to catch up to lap traffic. One good thing about this race, nice short track, especially compared to Nürburgring. So as the race progresses, there should be more and more encounters with lap traffic, some of whom may or may not make room for the leader. Trying to fix the window, shit, and I failed. Okay. Yeah. I did not go off the train. Yay! I earned myself a cigarette. Come in once I start doing 59s. Or if I feel like I'm going to do 59s. big break, not for me, but for the cigarette. I have to attend to a couple things around the house right quick. All right. And we're back. And where's the stupid guy with the big forehead? Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah. Oh, look, it's me. Shit. So, anyways, we are pitting. And here comes traffic. I don't think they're going to catch me. they're still all bunched up, aren't they? I hope they pit stop or something soon. I'm gonna get bored without anybody to chase. And I know y'all are too. As long as this race is going to take, and considering that this is the one track that my wife knows, I'm probably going to get her help on it at some point. And of course, I'm going to have to get a video of that. She can make this track about a minute too. I don't know about this car, but in most of the cars I've had her drive it in. This is certainly the couples race. If you can get your girlfriend or wife, your significant other, whatever, to learn any track, it's this one. It's just a tiny little track, dear. Just a tiny little track. I'm sure it looks easier than it is. But you're gonna have to tell her that. You're gonna have to tell them that. They can figure that out for themselves. You're like, what's the matter? It's an easy track. Thought you had skill. Take my watch off next pit stop. Go ahead and flick this out the window. It's not a real car, so I have to put it out in an ashtray. So we have to hit pause. This is all happening in really hyper fast motion, like the superhero motion from Bleach. But never mind. watching me race. She does that. This cat will sit there and watch, especially like on the Daytona endurance. Not like the broadcast, the IMSA. She sat there and was watching, especially when they went around the oval. Oh, she loved it when they went around the oval. It was so cute. She was sitting there up on the arm of the couch right by the TV. Right up by the screen, just watching. It's perfect. One day I'll probably buy this generation of Integra. Although the work of getting a USDM Acura RSX and then paying $7 grand shipped for a Type R motor from Japan, I'll probably be able to find a used 2013-2014 Civic Si that performs identically to this JDM spec Type R. Basically the same motor, K24. All I would need to do is open it up a little bit and get it retuned. Not do that. I really wish they had the 93 Integra on here. There's just a few key cars that this game is, and I'm sure other brand fanatics have the same thing. Like, there's some cars that they didn't need to include, some cars they really should have, but didn't. The 93 Acura Integra GSR. Okay, how do you not include that? The 1.7 liter Wonder. 86 and 91 Prelude SIs. We got the 92 Prelude. The 86 and a half SI Prelude. I used to have one. That was an awesome car. They should make that a premium car too. And have the old 80s style graphic EQ. Lap down, sir. That was third place. has gone bad. Alright, one more stint. I'm going to call it a podcast. Delicious. Double popcorn. Hey, lighter, where's the lighter? Fucking lighter. Oh, shit, that. Seriously? I had a lighter. Honest, I did. I knew, because I was burning stuff earlier. It was on fire and everything. That's a backup lighter. And I managed to get it to light. And thus we can resume. Where the hell am I? Oh. candle burns short. chicken? We got chicken? Oh, that's making me hungry. Well, that's good because I'm out of tires. Alright, so we are 1 hour and 10 minutes into the race, and I'm going to go ahead and suspend it there. And I'm going to knock a bit out, I'm going to learn how to speak. Then I'm going to knock a bit of this race out later today. Might do some kind of serious news type broadcast tonight, and or I might just do another broadcast of this. But I might just do a thing where I, have the beginning and then the end, because, well, let's face it, that's a long fucking race. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Please click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Check your subscription if you are a subscriber, because they may just disappear for no fucking reason. Peace!
The way it treated